What do you believe the purpose of government is? If you believe that one purpose of government is to help people who've been impacted by emergencies, then you're probably dissatisfied. Why do I say that? Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Dr. Ken Henry, and this is Conservative Commentary, where we spread the MAGA message. Before we begin, I'd like to ask you for a favor. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. This really does help us grow the channel and get the MAGA message out. And go over to youtube.com/@themagamessage and check out our other videos.
The 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help."
President Reagan certainly was spot on in this assessment, wasn't he? The Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, was created on April Fool's Day in 1979. Seems appropriate, doesn't it? Remember the FEMA debacle following the August 2005 Hurricane Katrina and its devastation to the New Orleans area? And most recently, FEMA has been criticized for its lack of response to the horrific flooding in the mountains of western North Carolina following Hurricane Helene. It was almost like they never showed up. Well, now it's gotten even worse. Under the leadership of Alejandro Mayorkas, FEMA, which is part of the Department of Homeland Security, just evicted 2,100 families in the middle of a blizzard. You heard me right. FEMA had provided vouchers for approximately 3,500 households to stay at hotels until they could get their homes rebuilt sufficiently enough for them to move back in. But this weekend, 21 families had their vouchers canceled. Why? FEMA claimed that they refused an inspection or didn't respond to its request to inspect their property. So they kicked these people out into a blizzard. Is that what our government is supposed to do? Is this related to politics? Hey, remember after Hurricane Milton and Helene in Florida, FEMA workers were instructed not to render aid to homes with Trump election signs in their yard. And we know Western North Carolina is a MAGA stronghold. Would FEMA have done the same thing if these people were located in a blue state? Let's pay close attention and watch FEMA's reaction to the horrific California wildfires for clues. And let me veer off message for a minute to ask for your prayers for the people affected by the fires in California. The destruction is simply surreal, but sadly it's real for those who've lost their homes or businesses. Perhaps President Reagan was right. Watch this clip from Fox News and please share your thoughts in the comments.
Our group is what I like to refer to as a force multiplier. We help integrate and coordinate with volunteer groups, the federal government, state, local authorities, and different supply hubs. We have a team of about 5 or 6 people now that they kind of scour some of the different Facebook group sites, vet and verify needs, and then myself and other members of our team drive out at all hours of the night and day to ensure that those that are in emergency situations get taken care of right away as quickly as we can, depending on what the need is, and we have the funding for. If they have something that we don't, or if they need something that we don't necessarily have, we'll run by Walmart or Lowe's or whatever it is and try to pick it up and get it over to them within, a matter of hours sometimes. I've got people that are still in the military, civilians that work with the military as well. We work with first responders and paramilitary. I'm actually talking to several people that are using the FEMA vouchers currently that are, they're terrified that they're going to have nowhere to stay for their families after today. But we did find out last night, pretty late, I guess. I found out this morning, but they found out last night that FEMA is extending it a whole whopping 24 hours for them to be so gracious during this winter storm that they have coming in out there. At least 3 or 4 different families right now that are still living in tents. They're very proud people, so some of them don't want to take, a tiny shelter or something like that. Then you've got, like you mentioned, the 3,500 people that are living in hotels right now. What are they supposed to do? when those vouchers are done. So literally, they're just supposed to keep their bags packed so that they can leave when you kick them out. You know, I mean, what are they going to do when the FEMA finally says, sorry, we're done? Which are, you know, they're going to get sick in if their home is even still there. And right now, finding hot tents and, you know, stuff like that for some of these folks, they have no idea how to go about doing it. You know, if they're even, the supplies are out there because they're dwindling. You know, people have very much started to forget about what's going on out here. Don't forget about them. I've dealt with a lot while I was in the military, and coming out here and seeing the lack of response and the lack of help is so heartbreaking. I've prayed with I don't know how many people. I've hugged and held so many family members that have lost a whole lot. I've worked hand in hand with family members that have lost their loved ones due to the storm. And they're tired, and they need help. They need it now. You know, I've been all over the United States, and I can definitely understand why they call the western part of North Carolina God's country, because it is absolutely beautiful out there, you know. And the people, when horrible things like this happen to these folks out here like this, it's in their blood to stand up, work together. They strap their boots on, and they say, all right, well, what do we need to do next?